Good morning. How are we doing? Mm, 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 mm. Bum, bum, bum. There we are. Traded gold last night. Traded gold last night. Gold is very, yeah, interesting. I love trading gold. I love trading gold. I actually preferred trading gold until I started trading Asia with Mikey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very directional. I suppose everything's very directional, really. So what we got going on here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So we bounced off of this yesterday, or was that yesterday? No, that was a couple of days ago now. We on our way down, as you guys know, the target in a downtrend. What is that? The target in the downtrend is you're looking at taking the protected lows on the way up for liquidity, right? And then trading back into the prior range. So as you do on our time frames, with even within this zone, we've got our higher time frame low here, which we're coming for. We've failed so far in here, which means technically that we should trade above this, which is possible. I don't really like the lethargic movement. We'll drop down in a second. Good morning, Herbert. We've taken that low, cool, right? We eventually dropped down and took out this low. We had a bounce in here from our last unmitigated area. This was our defense. Come on, computer. This was our defense, right? Our zone within our zone here that was responsible for this down move, trading back up, trading down, failing, and it went on a rocket ship, right? So one of the reasons we got so held up, we got a massive move yesterday from it that we caught at the end of the day, I believe. But oh no, that was in here. But what we're looking at is trading below here, and we don't really have anything if that lets go. So our narrative currently, I'm on all this madness, is we've got structure forming on our 15-minute chart here. I think that's a swing as well. That's a swing as well. That low is 225, close of 250. So I actually denied it being a swing there. Barely. One tick, but barely. What we're doing here is we've got a weak high, which tells us we wanted to go higher. We've got this consolidation here, which is cool. We've basically got this here, which we spent all of Asia in, looks like, that 40-point range. Manipulated at the end of the day, and then unloaded at 215. What happened at 215 that we went on a 200-point, 300-point drop, 200-point drop? My goodness. That's insane. Usually don't get stuff like that in London, but You guys had fun overnight, hopefully. What did go on? Mm, 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 mm. There's no real news, was there? I saw some stuff that you guys were talking about with Microsoft, but oh, oh, okay, man, rough week for the world, eh? Would they schedule everything in? So yeah, today could be fun for sure. Yesterday was very volatile, very nice, clean, one-way directional price action. We like it when things are clean and one directional with volatility. Other disciplines might not. We find that it actually holds structure quite a bit nicer. For example, we actually haven't gotten anything here that's traded back into our prior zone, but we are expecting probably a failure up here from this movement. This one isn't technically a swing, but if we're consolidating, running liquidity on both sides, I'm expecting a push up at least over these highs, and then we'll be looking to trade it back down, likely underneath here. If we fail up here, that is. Does that affect Top Step or I wonder if that affects Express accounts? Okay, wild. They haven't put me on a live one yet. That's coming, I'm sure. We got here 40, yeah, about 45 points consolidation. We're looking at a large move today, and if it breaks below here, we're really looking at a large move down. So I don't really care what goes on in here, but if we let go, it's letting go, right? So I wouldn't be looking to fade something back in, personally. Mm, 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 mm. Wild, wild news. Okay, let's see what we got here. So again, you guys know me. I don't care about the midpoint necessarily. It might sweep into it. You get different things that go along with it. I care about that and that alone. Very similar with this. If we're going to do anything, it's going to be here, that larger zone, right? You can refine it down even further, but given the volatility of today, I'm looking for larger areas. And we see that everything else has pretty much been mitigated. We reset swings here, leading to a larger move. SNDR was built, haven't tapped into it, wild. And we've just got all of this. All of this. Oh, that one swept. That one actually swept. I was not awake at 4 a.m. Man, we even gonna get it? We might not get it. Mm, 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 mm. You see a large bull bar like this on top of the zone. Do you enter? Blanket statement like that? No. No, but I mean that's definitely what you want to see leaving a zone. You know, is there a high probability if it's left a key area of interest of taking a trade after something like that? You know, there's a decent probability for sure for continuation, but your risk is high. It's not typically how I enter, but it's certainly what I want to see if I'm in at the right spot. Does that make sense? Morning, Vendit. We got lots of liquidity above this high. That did sweep here in fairness, but I wouldn't be surprised if we retested it or at least blasted through. And we've got something to clean up here, I suppose. I'm not expecting much higher. Obviously, we'll let price dictate that to us. This is a weak low, so if we're going to consolidate here and build an SNDR, then we have to respect what it wants to do with that. He doesn't miss, this guy. Doesn't miss. So when you're looking at objectives, you've got, take that off now. A sweep here. Ideally, that should take that low. Right? So when you're monitoring the push up here and you're looking, hey, this is actually changing order flow, but what's it doing? Trading back into the prior zone that it just left. Right? You got to take into account what the market's actually doing, not the minutia of what's going on. This very well could bounce up, but my expectation is this low first. Bang. So you don't get caught in fake flips. 925. Should this continue to sell off at 925, it's very dangerous for the bullish stance at all. Usually that's when they start initiating what they're doing. You might get a push up here at 930 to get all those shorts out. But this is actually where it begins. If we don't fail in here miserably, then our narrative of trading higher is actually in jeopardy. And we might just start going. Where is my options account? So should we trade back up into here and fail? This would be a good area. This is it's not even a fractal really. It's your last push up, which generated a break in structure. By that, I mean this range. Your protected low technically is, well, I suppose your protected low on your 1 minute time frames here, but I'm looking at the larger zones in the 15, right? Which is this one here. Oh yeah. Delayed data, mind you. Still making money, which is hilarious. But don't worry, when I do go live with that, it's going to be after I've got that really not that barely traded back into the prior range. Aggressiveness. So if we've flipped already, we're going to be taking this low at 63. We'll probably find that out pretty quick. Look at that, eh? 30 seconds. Careful if this fails. It means you have to go slightly higher. Take out all your early shorts. See what we do. So taking that protected low, trading back in, cool. Might trade back into here. You're looking for failure. If we're going to trade back up here at all, we're likely going to know it pretty quick. Otherwise, this is just going to go. Prepared for anything. Right into the SNDR. I'm not interested in longs this morning, period. But I can understand the bounces that will come out of these if trading with volatility, and there will be volatility this morning, is not your jam, my advice is to wait at a minimum till 9:50 or later. This is going to be very fast and very violent. And if your entries aren't on point, you will get taken out pretty quick, even if your direction is right. Right? So taking that SNDR, looks like we're not stopping, likely going right down to here pretty quick. Sweeping and failing SNDR. Really good failure, even if it went into that imbalance. Fast this is moving. This should take that low now, ideally. Otherwise, we're going up probably into this range. Really well defended. Still not convinced. That's what they would want to do for a big push. Beautiful, Michelle. Cool. Cautious of this zone just because of how violent this is. Liquidity is above this. We might have to take this high, but This is still technically weak. But my narrative was lower. My goodness. Careful of this short if it turns around. I did get involved in here. Yeah, very nice movement there inside of this SNDR, but my larger narrative was the 925 move after failing here. No rush to take this off until we retest those lows. At a minimum, I'm looking at this fractal here where buying really came in, but I'm looking for a violent push through it. Did anybody grab any of that? That was actually really, really violent. I just took, I actually got an exit in here, which was rough. That was a really strong push. Likely a little bit higher now. We'll see. That was the area I wanted for the swing. Yeah, this fractal barely tapped into it. Barely tapped into it. My exit was very, very late. Oop, 30 seconds. Gotta break above this. It's hop skipping, but gotta do it. She's trying. See how fast orders are going? It's definitely got baited. There it goes. That high. Can we go for the weak one? I'm not involved long. I was expecting more structure taken out. We did sweep this and fail on the 15 so far, which is nice. We've got this area up here, yep, for sure, right? The idea was the weak high in the morning, but if I'm entirely honest, as you guys know from the pre-market plan, I was thinking higher than lower. Look at this. See what goes on in the midpoint here. Dangerous cheat code entry here after taking an objective. Wouldn't advise it. Trading into the imbalance here. Your only saving grace would be this SNDR. Get rid of this now. Right. First objective with this would be to trade back up to here. If it holds at all, it may very well sweep it. And if it does, I'm not interested. Fighting, but should push through. We'll see. There it goes. You've got a flat top here, which is ambitious. We are trading back into this zone that we've technically flipped, but what I don't like is that we've traded into this objective here. Right? So you've got your higher time frame area of interest here that we just hit the midpoint that broke us out of this movement, right? So downtrend, consolidation, wide range consolidation, of course, but that broke out from this downtrend, trading back into the midpoint of it. We should trade back up here, but we'll see. Again, I'm not really interested in longs today, given everything. Which means, unfortunately, I missed quite a bit of this. And in fairness, that SNDR was a beautiful sweep for those of you guys that took it. Trading back down to this area again. Taking that low, which is important. This was your leg. Tapping into here and failing takes this low. Bulls basically, if we're going to go up, we need to start getting some buying pressure that is achieving something. This was a very weak bar, so we're not really interested in the long side yet until something's failing. Nice trade earlier, Paul. Didn't even see that. Objective that we're considering is this low here. If we sweep inside of it, that might trade up to this high. Very volatile action. Definitely not a day to be allowing your trades to go against you very far. Strong close and movement. She is dangerous. We got this flat top here at 90. Right? But this body closure, I mean, again, I'm not interested in longs today. There was some long trades that worked out, but as I try and educate, right? The ability to make money on one side, you got to stick to what you see and what your narrative is. Right? For me to take a long, I would need to see a sweep of a candle, which would then target its high. Right now, our objectives are lower and we're actually closing underneath significant candles. Not the location you want to short in, but there will be a lot of trades today. We're already at 160 point range. Beautiful B2. Look at that. Have you had payouts before? Are you working on it? If this continues failing here, then we go back down, probably underneath. But that's going to fail, and obviously that did not work. I'm sitting on my hands in this chop until I see a direction. Took the sweep to the shave top, cool. Like Wata he is. Quite a bit of decision was made in here. We'll see if we get a sweep or if we just fail in this zone. It's a violent move up into it. If this unwinds, you're looking at a minimum of here, but you need to see continued defense of this area. The high was 37.50, 37.25. Good man. Let's have a, I'll reach out to you. That's awesome. Nice failure in here. You need to see it defend, which means you're looking for an attempt to rally that then fails. Conservative entry would be the open of this candle as it trades through it. Right now, your stop's the manipulation itself, and you're looking probably to trade back down to here, assuming this imbalance does not hold. Right, we need to see a thrust through there now. Anybody at all? 5 points. All right. Okay. I mean, if you're entering at a conservative area at 21 and your stop's 32, you're risking over 10. If you're right, you want to take more than 5 off of it. That low was 93. We actually double bottom there and ran. Didn't give it to us. Hopefully you guys grabbed that. And we're actually so dialed in that we're not getting a lot of talk in there. But the idea is into an area that's responsible for something. How would we deem something being responsible? And what we use is, was a decision made there? Right? What was the decision that was made here? We determine this fractal paused, and the market decided to trade above this range and close up there. We then failed, came back into it. Do we get a reaction? Yes. So was a decision made there? Yes. The market decided, was it going to go higher from it? Or was it going to go on a rocket ship lower? So we can safely say, after we get a body closure here, that if we return to it and there's a reaction to it, that we might be able to get some money out of it. How do we deem a reaction to it? Typically, we look for an objective, right? That high was 37.50, that high was 37.25, right? So could we have taken this short? Probably. Sweep of this area. This is not what I would consider an inverse SNDR play, by the way. Right? The key was that this trade, after it went up, if it were to fail, it would come back to the open here and then go through. And we wouldn't be interested in the imbalance if that's the case, because we're completing an objective higher. Now we're creating some internal structure on the way, right? Again, not a swing, but do we consider this a pullback? The market try and sell off. Yes. Yes, it did. Right? It reached lower for an objective down here. Ideally, we would have wanted it to trade back down into here. But we see this zone clearly has a lot of volume in there. Are we entertained? How are we doing? We green? We watching? We disastrously red? I re-entered short at 29. Was that valid? You're talking like on this candle you got short, or as this came right back through? Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right? And why? Because if we're expecting lower from in here, cool, which we are, right? We've manipulated higher. We didn't actually even get to take the top of that range, right? Our narrative is short, still short. And if we're failing to go higher, we're going to go lower. That traded back in. And from a micro standpoint in your trade, Cal, why it worked so well is that this curve, if you're waiting for it to trade back into the midpoint or the open of this candle, with the understanding that if it's going to fail, it's going to go through and close here. We're expecting failure on a higher time frame. Your curve is that you're getting in on weakness when you're doing that. You're not trying to take the top and getting stop, whatever. You're waiting and picking your spot. And then obviously follow through worked out quite nicely here. We don't have an imbalance. So there's a lot that went into that trade that was excellent. So good lad. Beautiful. Beautiful trade, man. Taking these lows right at the turn of the hour. Strong buying. We need to see it defended for continued downside. Now, what you're looking for is the market attempting to rally on this order flow, or is it attempting to, or is it failing? I can let go here for the short position. That was a really good defense of that fractal, but she's making a decision right now, as you can see. This is not what I want to see for long so far, even though it's holding that low. Selling pressure is immense. We might get a little bit of a squeeze. But you see it being thrusted down. What happens? Comes the squeeze, taking out that weak high. If you get a sweep of a structural candle, ideally something, yeah, it'll probably be here, actually, right? Failure here would take us below these lows. But that would have to be, you'd have to be very quick and you wouldn't let it run against you, right? Last structural bull bar. Look at that rocket ship back up. Playing. Still not convinced in the bull side, but that was something else. That was something else. Probably trading back up into here. We're looking at 90s. Assuming it doesn't fail this key area. There's your 90s. Mm. Goes way too early, yeah. Vicious inside of here. Our 15-minute is ugly, but we still haven't. We've actually got a large range here and we haven't swept either way. We swept below here, then we swept above. Last manipulation's higher, right? But we failed miserably in here. Very difficult direction. Yeah, you'll be back, Art. You'll be back. I'm having a really difficult time selling off from here. It's going to let go. It's going to let go now. Otherwise, it's just going to go on a ship. More continuation. I don't want it sweeping the low of that and failing. We've got to defend that now, otherwise it's going higher. I did try a short from that failure. I had a stretch target of at least this low, and we defended it well in there, so I had to take it off. I'm not very interested in the long side still because of that manipulation. You guys can't see my, can you guys see my screen? When I switch to my, can you guys see it now? When I switch back and forth from top step X to this, it did just enough to get me out, came up. Now it looks like it's going to make its larger move. For transparency, this was that short. I did take a snip of the execution, but obviously that didn't work out. In fact, while I was taking a snip, I had to exit. So I gave back a little bit of money there, unfortunately. Well, not gave back, but I exited in here. Right. So this fractal here, key piece of information. If we blast through it, we take these lows. If we hold up, then we trade back up into this consolidation and then decide what we're going to do. Yep. Yep. Ah, Kevin. That's all right. You know what? That's all right. I'll take that. I'll take that trade every day, even if it didn't allow me to hold the way I wanted it to. But man, 60 points would have been nice. Plus, plus, plus. In reality, we've got a change in order flow, right? We've now failed here. We actually failed it twice. We saw a selling step up. What we want to see now is this not defended. And then we take this low. And if we do that, then we're actually going, well, yeah, we've already mitigated this area. So in reality, we should be coming for this low if we let go. Nice trade, Bats. Got back in for a smaller position. Nice work. Would not trust any sweeps in here from the change in order flow. If that means that I miss it, I miss it. But we already swept this here. I'm still upset at Apex for not sorting out my PAs, but I'll just have to send them another ticket today, won't I? Those of you guys that took the sweep anyway, you obviously made quite a bit here. Nice work. Into this fractal. if it comes for that weak high or not. It was a sharp move down. We got some trend line liquidity going. See if it trades back down to here. Not convinced on either side. Rejection by the bulls so far, but it looks like it's suckering in shorts. Yep, it certainly is, isn't it? I've been bearish all morning, and yet so far it's not done a lot other than failing up here. Still bearish, given everything, but in reality, this is rough, right? We failed higher, then failed lower. We returned to the open of that 4-hour candle and we sold off, but we've got to achieve something here. Yes, we're on the downside, but we're having a lot of difficulty with this. We've actually finally broken it now, but technically that's not even a protected low. Right? The protected lows here with these equal lows that we still haven't touched yet. So I'm looking at right now is this trend line, which is more best fit, I suppose, to be like this. Right? Ideally, we get a break of it. But right now, this is your typical flag pattern, which I hate. This is violent, really violent. Give them nothing. If it's going to go, it should go now. If it's going to go. 40 seconds to that close. You see massive selling pressure coming in. What do we get? Do we get a dip? Are they not done killing people yet? This large range. I just hit that hard. We'll see. That was a very, very good defense. It should take lows here. I don't want it sweeping that. I want expansion now with urgency, ideally. And if it can't, then it can't. But that expansionary type failure, it's exactly what I want to see. Oh dear. Still not trusting the long side. Right? But you have to trade what you see. Thought is failing here should go lower, and it did, but I was expecting all these to get wrecked. And it's just not playing easy. And now watch it go. Finally. Finally, finally, finally. Got these lows here at 807s. If it even wants to stop there at all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thanks, bro. Only if you guys made money on it, though. That was very hard to hold, especially in here, right? Very challenging. Failing here. Nice, Tom. Right. So we had those. Where was it? Sevens. I think it was here. So you just take them, trade back up. Ideally, structurally, we should trade back up into the range now. Caveat with that is if we fail in the area responsible for continuation. Are we entertained? Are we green? We happy? We seeing things a little clearly? We understand why we were looking short the entire day? How are we feeling, lads? Violent move down. Okay. Okay. We'll go over that in a sec. Mm. Yeah, we can look like say you're red today, right? Hypothetically. Hypothetically say you're red, right? Um we understand that our state and our happiness and everything isn't making money one day, right? I want these lows to be taken, to answer your question. We've just taken these. I don't want to see any major failure. Quite honestly, at this point, that sweep there, you're now trailing these highs. Sorry, just to answer the immediate question, right? You're trailing your highs now. You want parabolic movement, right? And if you get taken out here and it runs another 40 points, you're actually saving yourself from the potential of trading back up into the zone. Um, so with the understanding, right, that one day is not going to make or break you in your trading career, period. How does that allow us to refine things or reframe things? What it does is it allows you to take the day, what you did right, because there is stuff you did right, what you did wrong, because there's likely somewhere you can improve on, and then move forward in a linear fashion, because we're now focusing on the process rather than the outcome itself. Right? Nobody wants to be able to trade well one day a year or one day a week. There's some strategies out there that do so, right? That failure there might trade back up to here, so be cautious if you guys are still short. Um, some strategies will have that, where you have, you're red 4 days a week, and then on the fifth day, you're praying that the fifth day gives you green. Cool. That's not the way we trade here, but it's extremely arrogant to suggest that no other systems are valid. There's your failure there. You're now looking to see if continuation occurs off of failing there. Very violent move right back into the prior swing. Um, right. So if you're reframing everything with a tuition based mindset, what you're saying essentially is that you're going to improve on a daily basis no matter what happens. With the idea that that progress will bring future profit consistently rather than needing to make money on a daily basis, which is huge. This guy's got wrecked going long here. I'm personally sitting on my hands. I can't short this far down, right? Um, this was beautiful for a long setup, right? And now the defense of this will take higher if it can clear this and close above. We still have this valid area that we're looking. We did take liquidity already. I'm sure there's some sort of an imbalance. There's a 5-minute there. There's a 15-minute there. Right? That high is 29.75. That high is also 29.75. What do I think the chances are that we take it? At some point. Dealing with the midpoint of that zone now. Still expecting higher from this order flow. Mm. After salary got credited, my first job is to join your mentorship. Wow. I definitely appreciate and love that. Definitely feed yourself first, and maybe a little bit of a I don't know if you drink or whatever, but get something to celebrate your first payout, and we'll materialize that into existence. But love it, love it, love it, love it. Mm, mm. Mm-mm. So I keep flipping back and forth. So what we're expecting here is actually to trade back up into the range. I don't like this failure, but that is taking us here. We're essentially looking at whether or not this is going to hold here or not. You might get a sweep. If that sweep fails, then we trade back up. Given the violence of this move and the expansion, we haven't actually traded back up into here yet, but this is not looking good for that theory. Yeah. Got a lot of reasons to go up higher, but it might have to just go lower still. Been messing. It's been messing all day, hasn't it? If we're going to go higher, we need a defense of this. We don't want to see acceleration. That's for sure. That was good. Ten seconds. Still some really good selling pressure. It really needs to accelerate through 95. Good bearish defense so far. 99, 98. Still selling pressure. They need to overpower it now, and then you might see a squeeze. Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh, this recovers and gets back up into the 90s. It should trade much higher, but it's got a lot of work to do. Good recovery so far. I'm not interested in letting this go quick. And we'll see. I want to see acceleration through here. I don't want to see major selling pressure. They're attempting to sell off now. If it gets overpowered and goes above, I'd say 803-ish, then we might see acceleration here. Otherwise, we come immediately back down. Okay, so that's swept. They're trying to sell off here. For this to continue, we need defense of that. That's good. Needs to be better. We're looking for explosive movement. Right? We don't want lethargic. We want everybody covering and getting the hell out of Dodge. I don't want failure here. I want acceleration. Vicious. Go. Still looking for acceleration. Now you're just following your lows up. Expecting parabolic is the key with that. Following it up. Right? So low, low, low. This we're looking to break. There it goes. 29.75 on deck. Is my target too conservative? Possibly. Do I care? Do I care? Very one tick. One tick. 16 points immediately. One of my contracts got taken off, the other one I had to exit. Almost like I do know how to trade, I suppose, sometimes. Everybody understand the thought process behind that trade? Why we're looking to get involved here? Why we were waiting here? Why we're still actually cautiously expecting higher, even though we've got these. We didn't trade into the imbalance, but that's violent, right? It's irrelevant if I can make it. Right? We've got our higher and enjoy your 1-to-1 still. That's one of them. We're looking for this low to get taken. Why? We have a weak high. Right? What do we consider buying pressure right above a weak low? Inducement. Thank you. Right? What time are we at? 43, 44. So right before the end of actually, this did close below, I suppose, on the 15-minute in retrospect. What I like seeing is trades that sweep and fail right at the open of a new candle for the move up to then fail. So this is considered a sweep on, well, it's probably not even a sweep on the 5-minute time frame. So I suppose that wasn't an A plus setup. The idea is sweeping and failing. This becomes a wick on a higher time frame when the 1 minute gets a body closure underneath. When we have objectives higher. So should we fail in here and we trade through, we should expect strong, very strong price action to trade right through it. Why? Because we haven't swept anything on the way down. This is now, or should be, ideally a higher time frame failure. The fact that we didn't is probably one of the main reasons why we still had such heavy selling in here. And it looks like that 29.75 is finally going to get hit. I haven't re-entered this, obviously, but standard procedure, sweeping this low, now takes this high. But if we're going to trade into the imbalance, essentially what we're looking for is a double bottom on a higher time frame, which then sends us higher. Which is why we're expecting this to get taken. And more upside. There goes 29.75. Beautiful. Man, I've put in a lot of time and effort. I consider myself a very good trader. I don't even think I'm the best trader in this room. If I had to give the crown, it would probably go to Tom. But realistically, all of us in here are our yearly profits, and we are consistently profitable. Believe me. Paul's probably up there with Tom for sure. Definitely 1-2, I'd say. I'm up there, but man, these guys destroy it on a daily basis. Regardless, our yearly profits aren't even somebody's stop loss, man. It's important to remain humble and happy but unsatisfied. To answer your question, I've kind of piled together like a market structure 101. There's a bunch of content in here that's free for you guys to look at and study at your leisure. I encourage any questions or anything like that. You don't even really need to join to understand some of the basic concepts that we look at and trade. The premium group gets access to the sweep model. They get probably the biggest benefit of joining here that you don't find anywhere else is the psychological aspect. Right? I don't know if you guys know, some of you guys that obviously you guys that are here kind of understand the value of NLP, but if you guys don't understand the value of NLP, it is why we do what we do. It's everything. Absolutely everything. That's one of the biggest things. And obviously, continued immersion, which is our education model. Right? You learn things much faster when you're being told the same thing over and over rather than to go study by yourself for 6 months, probably practicing the wrong things or things that aren't tailored to suit you better. Right? You don't just give a kid a soccer ball and say, go play on the field. And maybe in 5 years, you'll become professional. It's not how it works. I cannot handle compliments, but I appreciate all that. Look at this. Look at this. You guys will notice trailing your lows, there's only two areas in here that got taken out, right? This one did and that one did. Why? Failed above, failed above. Yeah, I mean, we're severely undercutting the value in here compared to everywhere else that I've kind of looked at. We're kind of priced similar for people that trade New York Open that do well. You know, the live hypnosis that Trade Beautiful is doing at the end of the month is it's literally worth like 8 grand by itself if we had to pay somebody else to come in here. I'm not even kidding. That's actually how much it would have cost. So um make sure you guys are here next Thursday. Make sure you guys are here next Thursday. I'm obsessed. All of the core team here is actually obsessed with giving back to the community and everybody. So I'm really excited for this fair that's coming out. Right? The marble race is going to be fun. The giveaway is going to be fun. It's going to be unreal. It's going to be unreal. So we're trading into this, currently struggling, really struggling as the market determines whether or not it's going to trade back up into our prior range. We don't have a true swing in here, right? I look at this failure, which then traded up and then failed, traded back down. We've got, in reality, we've got this area here, which kind of encompassed the morning. The Thursday fair. Oh, it's just fun and games and some giveaways, man. So far, we're disrespecting this imbalance. Right? Opening, trading higher into our area of interest. Yeah, I think Bats took that long much better than I did. Woo, what a morning. Nice entry on the retest pull. Stunning. Cautious of us really coming back down now. This imbalance, if it fails, immediately lower. If we hold, we sweep. And if we make sure, like, if we sweep, then we really come back careening lower. This is exactly what we would want to see. We swept our SNDR, right? This was the area where that area there. Let's get rid of some of this nonsense. Man, OTEs. OTEs, King. All right. All right. All right. Too many ICT bros in here. Krez, morning, man. You missed all the fun. Did ICT and Dave join the Robbins Cup? They did. They did. ICT had major medical issues, and Dave, for some reason, decided in February or March, for whatever reason he was delaying it for, that it wasn't worth it. Nonsense on both accounts, in my opinion, but medical issues, man. If he is dealing with all of those, which, I would never say that somebody is or isn't, right? And I hope that he makes a full recovery, right? Does Dave even trade a real account? I think he trades a real account after he blew up his Apex ones. Uh, did he actually blow his Apex accounts? Well, he got a 40 grand payout from them. He was posting about it every day for about a week and a half. And then 3 days later, he went on a rant about prop firms not being able to manage their risk properly. So you tell me. Who is my mentor? Really good question. Really good question. I don't really have a trading mentor right now, I suppose. Probably, probably, probably Paul and Tom. You better say Les, yeah. I definitely Tony Robbins, major one. I defer to Les with everything to do with the mind. She's probably forgotten more about the mind than I've learned. My strengths are more ability to educate and communicate to people. That's just, I don't know if you guys believe it's environment or genetics. There's arguments for both. I've got some genetics that I'm blessed with in terms of family leadership. So look at this. Sweep, bang. Mm-mm. Right? So might get our tap back in, maybe, but certainly looking for this. This is looking very dangerous for 7 minutes. This closure is death. Should we close underneath it? Oh, dear me. Mm-mm-mm. Have I looked into my human design? You can create and condition yourself. Yes, I did, Bugs. Um, not sure what you mean, so probably not, my friend. What do you mean by human design? I missed this short. I'm actually quite upset. Too busy having too much fun with you, lads. No, man, not your fault. I literally watched it happen and I was like, oh, this would be the area I'd be shorting for, looking for failure. 15-minute imbalance, got to close below this. Oh, yeah, maybe I should have actually taken a trade. Yeah, Bats is there. Good lad, right? Sweeping SNDR, failing. Like, gee, Bull, what's your A plus model? That's it. That's it. You're watching it. Me too. Look at it. Look at it. You took this sweep and then you got stopped on this one. So if we talk about trade management, right? Say you're in here. When do you move your stop to the manipulation? Mm, 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 mm. It goes past the prior bar. That's right. So if you're in from here, let's say hypothetically, and you've got a 10-point stop, right? You're moving your stop when we trade below here. Otherwise, we're front side, which is the issue with the sweep that you have to be aware of. Oh yeah, we're going down here. And probably pretty quick. Pretty quick. You're in here-ish. Okay. Yikes. A really good shove out of that fractal. Mm, mm, mm. If we don't fail up here, we've already mitigated this, so we definitely should trade into this one. Should we continue higher? And then if that's the case, we probably trade back up into this. 57 seconds. But not interested in longs no matter what this leg does. Dangerous. Still huge selling pressure. Who gets wrecked first? Really good selling pressure still. That was the minimum needed for bulls to get a body closure of bullish. It's going to go higher. It's got to go lower first, in my opinion. But I wouldn't be interested in going long regardless. You get it? Yep, kind of. Here we go. Here we go. Don't want failure here. It's got to accelerate now. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Okay, I took some off. Didn't like that sweep. Sweep of this candle. Wasn't a fan. Annoying. Doesn't invalidate the trade, but it means that some price action that I didn't like to see. That idea, I think, is GST, isn't it? If you're part of a business, you can claim it back, can't you, or something like that? Nonsense. Sweep here. Didn't really want that. trying again. Here we go. First, you don't succeed. Still stalking this low and beyond. Yep. Beautiful second sweep. Very challenging. Right? We got our sweep here, and then it actually took that. Right? I did take a small loss shorting here. Hmm. Yep, fair. I just added there. Do not sweep that low and fail. Do not sweep it here and fail, or I'm gone. Playing around with this. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gonna make it very hard to hold on to. And then at times not. Need acceleration now. Come on, lads. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Tom. This is how to properly manage it, not just this is my target or I'm going to die. Are you not entertained, guys? Did anybody grab that? Never mind Tom and I. Anybody? Short from 23, old me would have longed all day. Good. Excellent. You're making new habits, which is going to create new results, which is awesome. Drama got it. Zin got it. Anthony got it. Beauty. Look at this. No reason to be out of it yet. Why am I not holding this? What am I doing? Were we short all day or what? Fired up. We're fired up in here. Look at that. What a feeling. Big believing. Nah, those guys in the bullpen? No, man. No, not profitable. Don't know what a swing is. They don't know what they're doing. They're teaching psychology. What is this nonsense? Our biggest issue is that we only take 50 points sometimes instead of taking 200. Bats doesn't. Bats legends it up. Remember this day when you see that out in the community. People that are more concerned about what other people are doing than making money. Would you rather be focused on other people and politics and things that aren't making you better, or self-introspection so that you can destroy the market on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis? Where's your energy best spent? There's one thing that you guys aren't in here for, that you're getting taken away. It's you're looking for failure. Objective here was failure, which takes us up. Failure. Right? Consolidation, failure. What does failure do? Takes us down. Making it very difficult on the way, but what do we take? We take protected lows. We took this one, traded up. Cool. We took this one, traded up. Cool. Where are we at? That does not mean it's easy, but it means that you guys are able to understand how the market moves. I wasn't interested in any of this. There's a lot of longs here. This one I did take. I actually got failure. I was talking shorts all day long. Why? Well, self-evident now. But our narrative on our higher time frame was failure above to take us lower. Should we have gotten the opposite? Right? We actually did fail here, which took us higher. Failure. Failure, failure, failure. Who could have predicted this? Okay, I'll be back later on. Have some questions ready if you guys like. We did open today up to the community. It's only supposed to be one day, but we destroyed it so much yesterday that we just had to come back for more. I had to give you guys another one. Why not? So hopefully you guys nuked this with us or something in here with us. And we'll do an early post-market today because it's Friday. And you guys got places to be, ladies to take out, whatever the case. And we'll catch you later on in the flippity flip.